Hi guys, Togo here with a new video, and this video will be a discussion about the class I have chosen, which is I chose Warlock as a main in the War Within, and why. Um, as you may know, you're probably going to say, but dude, you have so many mains. You're a multi-classer. And that's true. You probably know me from my tier list videos or my guides that I make about a lot of classes that I do main. For example, shaman, for example, warrior, warlock right now. Um, I do make a lot of guides, do make a lot of videos, and in the tier lists, I do talk about every single class as I know them pretty well because I have everything level 80. I play literally PvP with every single class, and it gives me a bit of insight. But truly, it does give me some mental fatigue. I'm kind of tired of playing every single class. I'm tired of like not knowing what I want to play the day itself because I hesitate between classes, right? Sometimes I want to play warrior, sometimes I want to play paladin, sometimes I want to play mistweaver, sometimes I want to play windwalker, sometimes I want to play priest. And the issue with that is I am in a state of a mental like analysis paralysis kind of feel where I feel it doesn't need to be on a World of Warcraft, like it doesn't need to be in a game. I have that in real life. I don't want to have that right now. So I told myself like, look, take a break for retail, play some Call of Duty, play some classic, play like do something else, like watch some mangas, watch some animes, you know. And then I told myself like, look, let's try to think what class do I want to really play like every single day, and even if I have like a bad day, even if whenever I have a good day, even when the balancing is not good, even whenever the balancing is good, what class do I feel like at home? And I remember in Shadowlands, I think if I remember correctly, one of my first guides I've made for the channel was warrior, shaman, and warlock. And warlock was one I've made multiple guides, just in general in Shadowlands, but also in the War Within, in Dragonflight, excuse me. And also in the War Within, I did make my first Demonology Warlock guide on the channel, and I actually liked talking about Warlock. I think it's like a class that could talk multiple hours without end. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, like some neat tips and tricks. I think the surviving aspect is also very possible, like having healthstones now being able to be used every minute instead of like out of combat. You can recharge, I would say, because you can only use it one time in combat and then you have to like drop combat to be able to reuse it. Now it's demonic, so you can use it every minute. It's cool. Dark Pact is so huge, like it's a big shield. Like again, I'm not in PvP. It does like 4 million health. It's like fantastic. A lot of specs don't have that, and it's a 1 minute CD. And then you have your gates, which is really interesting. Again, you can buy also an item which is gateway control shard. I think it's 100 gold, and you can just press the button and you can like gateway whatever you want to. So you don't have to click like a dumbass to take the port. And I think this ability, Demonic Circle, with the teleportation, is one of the neatest abilities in the game. Like you can do so many plays with it, and that's why I actually choose Warlock. I think the three specs are fantastic. They play all three differently, which I cannot really say too much about like enhancement shaman because it's true, it is way different from enhancement shaman to elemental shaman, but it plays kind of the same. Like it's still around your lightning bolt slinging, casting slinging abilities instead of right now. I guess it has been better than before. Now you have your storm strike doing some okay damage, wind strike doing some okay damage. They nerfed wind fury for some reason. I don't know. Like it's not written, but it feels nerfed. The same way why Hunters feels nerfed, it is the same for Enhancement Shaman. Although Enhancement Shaman, the Tempest damage is doing good, so that's why it kind of like elevates them to a certain level. But I love Shaman, but I don't truly love the way I love Warlock. I think Warlock has always been the thing I enjoyed like at all times throughout the ages of the expansions. Like, I loved it whenever it was in Shadowlands, whenever you were playing Drain Tank. I was one of the first to make a video about the Drain Life legendary. Nobody was playing that. Everyone was playing the Sacrolash Dark Strike legendary from Shadowlands. And I told, like, look, if you play Drain Life and you play all the little talents from Drain Life, you could actually like just Drain Life tank some PvP players, like you would do in leveling in Classic. You would do the same in PvP. And that was like a fantastic feel to actually like be able to theory craft my way to a better build, to a better playstyle, and I really enjoy Warlock because of that. And then you have also your Destruction Warlock, which I think is still one of the most neat thing in World of Warcraft, just period, is that you have green fell fire. Like, if you want to do Incinerate, which is not doing too much damage these days, but it is now green. Now you cannot see because it lags. Okay, so I have green fire. And it is not too hard to get it now, for sure. But it is a good feeling. So even your soul fire is green. Like, everything feels neat on Destruction Warlock. Everything on Affliction Warlock feels great. Especially whenever, like, right now, it feels a bit overtuned. I'm not gonna lie, it is very strong. It is very, very strong, actually. And then you have also your Demonology Warlock, which I think is a kind of a wild card spec, for me at least. It is not always fun, but whenever it works, it does feel like you are doing great. Like Demonology Warlock, with your Demon Bolts, you can deal some incredible damage. With your Shadow Bolt even, you can also do some incredible damage. Then you have your pets, which are your Showerhound and your Dreadstalkers, also doing some incredible damage. And then you have your Demonic Tyrant go, which is a 1 minute go now, and you can get your Soul Shards, you can do some good damage, and just in general will buff your pets, which again is a playstyle that is quite fun to watch and to play IMO. Maybe not to play against because of all the demons that you can have, but I do really like it. And right now I'm enjoying Affliction probably the most because it's really strong and it feels easier than what it was ever like in Shadowlands or in Dragonflight. It feels like I can do damage with Haunt Shadow Bolts, which you didn't have that before. So I kind of like that as well. But yeah, we'll have to see. But I want to say that my choice is Warlock. And why do I choose Warlock is because I feel comfortable with it. I feel like I can have a lot of fun in PvP with it. I perform well on it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not bad on Warlock. Like, in general, I feel like I'm probably at my best whenever I'm playing Warlock. And it's not because it's really strong in the meta, it's just because I know whatever I need to do whenever I get like focused. If a warrior is on me and by any chance I get targeted, I know I'm gonna press Dark Pact from the get-go. Some people don't press Dark Pact soon, but I do press soon because it's 20-second duration, 1 minute CD. So best case scenario, they break it and they make full use of Dark Pact and I do survive. Worst case scenario, they maybe ignore me, but even then, if they do ignore me, it's a full free 20 seconds where I do cast. They might maybe CC me or whatever. Often they're just going to tunnel you, that's what happens. And even then, you have your TP, you have the possibility to also like gateway whatever you want to. You can then slow them with your slow. You have your PvP talent now, which again gives you even more like easiness to press and to use damage and to have damage on your team by having your like curses cost 1 soul shard but applies corruption and agony, which is super strong because again having the possibility to give just at everyone the agony and corruption, which gives you nightfall procs, which gives you a lot of damage in general. And then you have your unstable affliction, which you don't even need to press it that often anymore because I play single UA. I don't even play rampant affliction, and now single UA does some great damage. Now it doesn't show here because PvP damage scaling is not available on dummies, but it does really a lot of damage. Like it does 2.1 million damage over 21 seconds. That's without any procs or whatever. You can count it yourself. It does 200k per 2 seconds pretty much. It is really strong. I feel like I feel comfortable with my defensives. I feel comfortable with kicking on Warlock. I feel comfortable with Mortal Coil on Warlock. I can even play Hall of Terror on Warlock. I feel like I can play 2s without a problem. I can play 3s without a problem. I can play Soul Shuffle without a problem. I can play solo queue RPGs without a problem. I feel like this class gives me the most liberties in how I want to play in World of Warcraft. If I feel like I want to play only 2s, and I want to play double DPS, you can actually do that as a Warlock. If you want to play with a healer, you can play Demonology Warlock and you can be fine. Or you can play Destruction Warlock, you can be fine. Or you can play Affliction Warlock and you can still be fine. You can also say, look, I want to play 3s, I want to play with a melee. Well, you can play with a rogue, you can play with a warrior, you can play with a DK, if whenever they're strong, like unholy DK. You can play a lot of classes that meshes well with Warlock. For example, Feral Druid as well. You can do very well. So that's a good thing, but also if you want to play just Caustic Leaves, you can. You can play with a Frost Mage, you can play even with a Fire Mage whenever they're like being better. Right now it's really not that good, so I would not like suggest you do that. You can play with an Elemental Shaman, you can even play with an Arcane Mage, you can play with anyone. And you have 3 specs that can actually give you the liberties and the help to decide what comp you want to play. Like, if you want to play Destruction Warlock with a Fire Mage, which was very good in PFA, that could come back one day. Or you can play Destruction Warlock with a windwalker, which is very bursty. Or you can play Affliction Warlock with Elemental Shaman, which is very dampening, but it gives you a lot of pressure over the map, where you have your Ascendance goes from Elemental Shaman, and you have your Haunt goes, which is very hard to stop, because whenever you're doing a Haunt, they need to press something, because they know they're going to get at least 3 million damage from the whole rotation, from getting Haunt into double Shadow Bolt, because you will have Nightfall procs from something else, for example. Like, again, another Nightfall proc. It does a lot of damage and it feels very good. It's not because it's OP that I choose Warlock, because I do feel like Affliction Warlock is really strong. I don't think it's OP, but it's really obnoxious to play against. I'm not gonna lie. And the same for Demonology Warlock. Whenever you play versus a good one, it's very annoying. But the feeling I have whenever I'm playing Warlock feels very liberating, which I don't have it as a warrior. I feel like I'm very grumpy whenever I'm playing warrior on Soul Shuffle. I'm very grumpy whenever I'm playing Enhancement Shaman. I have the bad lobbies. I sometimes despise it. I do well on it, but I despise it still. Elemental Shaman, it feels like sometimes very dampening outside of your Ascendance goes. You do win with, like, again, your Promote your Wave, Ancestral Swiftness, but even then, they still, for me, they need to be like, they need to make Lightning Bolt meaningful again. And I would even say Chain Lightning or Stormkeepers. Right now, Stormkeepers is literally for your elemental to be out, and that's it. The damage itself is not that impressive. It does less damage than a Shadow Bolt from Lightfall, which is really weird. But anyways, that's kind of how I feel about Warlock. I will be making guides again about Warlock, like more precise guides, like more in-depth guides, like for example how to survive, how to kite, how to deal damage, Affliction Warlock guide, Destruction Warlock guide, maybe like some different builds, like a full mastery guide or a full haste guide, or even full crit one day, maybe, just to test it out and to let you see what can happen with a full crit Warlock. I'll be making like more videos like this once we have like uncapped conquest. But I really enjoy it. And if you're like on the fence of like, I want to play range, but I don't want to get trained every single time, it's true, you're going to get trained as a Warlock, and some lobbies are really terrible. Like for example, a double warrior with a BM, it feels really terrible to play, but you can actually win. You can actually win. And you can actually like be very obnoxious with how you're running. You can just dot them and just like keep on running. Like he's going to chase you, just run away the other way and just waste time, because the longer the game goes, the better it becomes for you to actually do a big soul rod go and with your Haunt, double Shadow Bolt, and someone dies. I really like it. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I have also a second channel in the description, which is the classic content channel. So if you want to check that out, you can also check that out. I'm excited for classic for next week. So again, I like all World of Warcraft, and I'm going to focus on Warlock. I'm going to focus on my tier list, my guides, my gameplay videos. I'm going to try to do more gameplay videos, more explanation videos, no commentating videos, and we're going to do also videos on the classic content channel where I'm going to do also guides, tier lists, gameplay, montage videos, and whatnot. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.